and tap it. It'll turn red. Just keep it running until I say stop. Deal? Okay. She's easy going. Love it. Wish my girls would have been that quiet at the age of 8. Both my kids are grown at this point. I consider even my 17-year-old to be grown.
That's grown.
But I have a 23-year-old as well and a 2-year-old grandson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
You're
done.
all in now.
Yeah. I'm done. Like, no more kids. I got dogs and birds and everything else at the house. I'm good. All right. So we're gonna take 2 laps. Have you heard anything yet?
You
Go ahead.
loud enough?
I don't have anything on my
98.25.
98.25. Either one of those are relevant to where we are, but I'm going to write them down because you did in fact hear something. So again, not everything is going to mean something. That's what I'm here for. So 98.25. But yeah, let's take a couple of quick laps around here and let's see what you hear out of it. If you're not getting much, then we'll wrap it up. I'll give you the answers. We'll move on to the next stop.
I saw something. I saw something in the camera.
What'd you see?
It looked like a human, but it wasn't the.
You might be pointing at the sign.
It's not the sign.
Was it our shadows? Because it'll pick up our shadows too.
So right in this spot, he's bouncing from like 50 to 50.4. Oh no, 47.
50 and 40.7.
So
So
it's-
the baseline's just going to remain 25.
Okay.
So that little blinky light device that I put away,
Now they're trying to sell pills.
Pills?
that blinky light device,
Yep.
and you go by Joe or Joseph?
Joe is fine.
Joe.
Yeah.
That only goes to 25.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're 57 and 40.7.
Yep.
We wouldn't have even known how high it went.
63.
Let's see what happens when we get away from this truck.
Okay.
I was gonna have a lot of footage of the ground.
Definitely bouncing all over.
I'm trying to
what
find
are your other numbers
something,
that are wrong?
but
It went all the way up to 70 for a second, and then went back down to 20. Hell, at 22 for.
You
those
gotta
just.
check that stuff out, man.
Yeah. Okay.
That's huge.
Oh, that's just.
Yeah.
Just so you know, those numbers are astronomical for being outdoors.
Okay.
When you were getting like the 50s near the vehicle,
Yeah.
like you might be one of the batteries. Let's see what happens when we get away, and you were still getting numbers.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep those 50s and the ones that you have.
Okay.
Because again, sometimes it might be from a vehicle battery. But there's no electricity in this space. Even those lights, they're solar panels.
Okay.
It's not going to give off EMF. I've already tested all of them. They put them in over the summertime. I've been coming to this spot for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you get to know the space and it's like something's different. It's like, why is this well lit?
Oh, that's.
Macy, shout it out, whatever you're hearing.
Okay.
You're going to have what they call Tourette's syndrome. Do you know what that is? When people just scream for no reason? Because they can't control it? Yeah. That's exactly what it's going to feel like that you have. Just shout things out. It's perfectly fine. You can interrupt me. I know Dad probably taught you not to interrupt people, but it's okay to interrupt.
Here,
Pick
try.
that up and then just go around.
I'm gonna see if I can see that.
Okay.
Trying to do one more lap now that Macy's getting comfortable with this. Trying to see what we got going on. She's trying to find that person again. I want to see what you see.
Oh, that was just a sign.
Car might be in our way.
Oh, what was that?
No, we was just
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's just the
What you got?
building. It was just the building.
Shadows?
Yep, and the building.
16.9 there. You said baseline was 25.
Yeah, but 16 still nothing. So
Yeah.
that. I'll take it. It's out of nowhere, huh?
Yep. I'm gonna drop just right down the view.
So if it was coming, just so you have an idea, coming from something man-made like a transformer, it would trickle down. So it'd be like 50, 45, 48, 42.
Macy.
Like it would work its way down. So
These have been like.
Yep.
Macy.
Normally how it goes.
24.6, 32, 48, 113.
Down to nothing.
Where'd it go? I lost it.
You know, it's weird. It's tonight's K index is not like anything that should be influencing us.
What was the index?
So K index is like solar flares coming off the Earth,
Oh, okay, yeah.
affecting the Earth's EMF.
Okay.
So when it's really high, like a 5 to a 6, which is not as high as it goes, that's when I'm like, we're probably gonna see a little bit of spike. I think tonight we're at a 4, which really should be influencing. Yeah, we're at a 4, which is still higher than the average of 3, but at the same time should be giving us 113. For sure. Yeah, I would like a spike from a 4 should be like we might get a 7, and we should really have 2.
Okay.
So nothing over like drastic. It's mainly for the other spaces that are much lower.
Yeah.
Okay, see anything?
I've been seeing a lot of like human
Seeing a lot of
figures.
things in there, a lot of stick people.
Yeah, and
So
Steve.
anything with branches or leaves is not our friend, just so you guys know when we're watching the video.
Yeah.
All leaves are in front of another leaf, so it's always going to try to make it look like there's a person in the tree.
Okay.
That's the way it's designed.
Okay.
It always tries to make it look like a person. So I really want Mason to pick up on a couple of things extra out of there so we have something tangible. There's no reason that she shouldn't be hearing anything with the reading she would have going on.
Yeah.
It's like a. It was like a clip of them like talking about like the people that talk over the football game,
Okay.
like that.
So the announcer, but what did they say?
They. I didn't really hear what they said, but I knew that's what it was. I think they like.
And it's okay to tell me something silly. You don't know if it's going to mean anything. Like, that's the whole point. That's why I said, I know, like you said, it was the guy over the announcements, okay? But what did he say? And it's, I don't care that you heard Harry Styles. I want to know what Harry was singing. Does that make sense? Because a ghost isn't going to know who Harry Styles is, nor do they know who the football announcer is. It's a matter of them using their voice to tell us what they want to tell us. So it's like Bumblebee from Transformers. Did you all see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so just think of Bumblebee didn't have a voice box. He used the radio to talk to us. He didn't care if it was male or female. He just used whatever he could find to be able to convey that message. So that's what that is. You're holding Bumblebee right
Are
now.
you aware?
I've been. Yeah.
You haven't yet. No.
I have been seeing a lot of stick.
No, you're just picking up on trees right now.
So I think we're going to head back to the back. So continue to listen. I'm going to give you guys all of the answers of what I normally, all the questions that I hand out, so you can see how this starts to piece together. So Dad had some really high readings. Like, this is me excited, by the way. I'm not a TV show host. Like, I'm really excited about the numbers he found, which means you just missed it in real time, and that's okay. You've never done this before. And you're probably waiting for a ghostly voice to come scream, get out. Like, that's not how this goes. So, yeah, let's go to the back. So keep yours running for just a few more minutes, Charlotte.
Okay.
So, all right, go ahead and hit your red button now. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, good call.
You just don't want to be too. You're gonna kind of hide in the shadows. You're gonna be the ghost. How about that? We don't want them people to see that you're recording. Okay.
Okay.
Gotta be sneaky.
Exactly.
Sketch.
Teaching your kids all kinds of bad
Yeah,
habits here.
that's
Interrupt me. Record people when they're not paying attention.
They got me as a dad. They've learned plenty of bad habits.
All right, we'll stop right about here anyway.
I don't see anything.
So we're gonna stop right here, Sarah. All right. So, what'd you hear else besides 32?
They're talking about like brush pain, my pain.
That actually makes sense here. Now we're onto something. You're getting gooder at this. Now I'm teaching bad grammar. The English guy.
Kids better.
Yeah.
Brush pain, my pain. I'm just gonna put down brush pain because it's something weird to hear on the radio. So your baseline in here is going to be a 7.
Okay.
So the cell phone that you're holding is going to give off a little bit here and there. So just kind of keep an eye on it if you get
What
little
am I
spikes.
looking on here? Just
The middle. Just the word.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking the 7 on this device.
Gotcha.
So we're in a new space, and the only reason it's a 7 here is because we have lampposts near us, so it's going to give up a little bit. I like just to make sure like it's something abnormal. So I told her to be obvious, and what did she do? She's like, I'm going to record their faces. Sorry, she's adorable, by the way. Like,
Thank you.
my youngest was kind of meek and quiet like this,
Yeah.
and now she's in drama.
Oh,
Oh.
what's this one?
Yeah. Well, she's the backstage kid. Like, she's the costume designer.
Ah, okay, cool.
So, like, that's actually what she's going to school for. So she found her passion in high school,
Yeah.
and she's going to SCAD next year.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah. So,
That's cool.
So she's the costume designer, always sewing, always messing around with patterns and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, she's the very outspoken kid that's a smart ass right back to me now and has to dish it out whenever she can.
Yep.
Because she knows I'm like, whatever, I don't care. You're not at your mom's house, let's do this. But anyway, this is Philadelphia Alley. I know I talk a lot about Philadelphia. Oh, by the way, the reason why I was going to go up to Philly this past year was to go pay my respects to Eliza.
Oh, okay.
That was.
I kind of thought about that when you were talking about it.
Yeah, we were just gonna swing by there, swing by, and then go to Pittsburgh. I know it's all the way across the state,
Yeah.
But my in-laws live in Pittsburgh.
All right.
But that trip got canceled because we had to move and all that kind of mess. So I'm just kind of whatever. We'll go back next year. So Philadelphia Alley now, however, this used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where-
February.
This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. I don't know what February means because we're definitely not near February, but I'm going to write that one down too. That's weird. That's not even close to being relevant to either of the two people we're about to discuss. It's so weird. But anyway, so every ghost tour tells the same story down here. I'm going to give you the same thing with a few extra details just because you're ghost hunting. You're not on the campfire and marshmallow kind of ghost tour down there. So here's how this goes. A doctor moves down here from Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. In the event that you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl on there, it's not coincidence. We get it here all the time. It's part of his name. So anyway, Dr. Ladd is supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. So basically her mom and dad passed away and she got all their money. That's basically how that works. So, not that I want you to wishful thinking on anything. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that thought in her head. Like, oh, wait a minute. But anyway, so she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just got. And the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. So he moves to Charleston to prove that he's not after Amanda's money. He's going to go out and make his own with his new medical practice down here. On his way into town, somebody set him up to be robbed and killed. It was his coachman, kind of like having a really bad Uber driver. So it's like they dropped him off and there was somebody waiting inside to kill him so that way him and the driver could split the money. So it's basically what was about to go down. Somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen because he knew the driver. So his name was Ralph Isaacs. I stopped there because Ralph Isaacs has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. We are getting the letters RI all the time on the spirit box that you're using, so I bought a new device. Basically works just like a Ouija board, but it's digital. So I wanted to make sure we were getting those letters. I've had it for about 10 months. We've had it about half a dozen times. So, and it's only when I bring up Ralph's name, not Rhode Island. So now I know where it belongs. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells Doctor that this guy's gonna try to kill you. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from them and you'll be safe and good to go. Doc took him up on the offer. The two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. So he started his new medical practice down here, and he's doing pretty well. Amanda got wind of this, and she's going to move down so that way they can be married. Dr. Ladd got wind of his girlfriend coming down so they could be married, and he became known as the Whistling Doctor. The reason why is because men whistled all the time in the 1700s when they were pretty happy-go-lucky guys. So basically, Dad seems like he's a happy-go-lucky guy, which means he would whistle all the time if he was in the 1700s, but we're not in those times. So, but anyway, exactly. So I would tell you that every ghost tour tells you to listen for the whistles that while we're down here. Luckily for us, we have a video camera that records audio on top of my voice recorder. That's why we don't spend a lot of time down here listening for whistles because we have two devices that are doing it for us. We're going to talk more about those whistles in just a minute. Dr. Ladd and Ralph they go see plays together. It's like going to the movies, but they can't sit next to each other. So they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He has better seats. So, Dr. Ladd and Ralph talk about these plays on the way home. They go see a play one night, and they're arguing over the new actress that was in the play. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph did not. Then Ralph starts making fun of the doctor's girlfriend back home in Rhode Island. And it got really nasty, and they went their separate ways. So, told you Ralph has friends around town, just like the people at the house that he put the doctor in. He went to the newspaper and put an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of thing. Doctor saw the ad, and said, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Let's settle this. Somebody's going to die. So they came down, and they took their 10 paces away from each other. I'm sorry, do you guys know what a duel is? Okay, so basically, back then when people got into an argument, like our two friends were talking about, they would go back to back, take 10 steps away from each other, turn, and shoot their guns.
Oh, it's just like Hamilton.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Just like a
yeah.
Hamilton. Okay, so that's basically what we're talking about here. So these two guys came down here. They took their 10 steps away. They turned. The doctor pointed his gun in the air and shot his one bullet, because that's all you get is one bullet. You get one chance to try to kill your opponent. Now, he didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage to show up to the fight. But Ralph has his one bullet still, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doctor didn't die, but he dropped to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. I'm going to point out a couple of things here. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different than what we think of as a gunshot wound today. And he's a doctor, so he probably just thought he had lead poisoning, because that's what happened when you got shot back then. You didn't die right away, you just got lead poisoning. You may have died from lead poisoning, as the doctor did, because he died, basically from the gunshot wound. So, they're all telling you to listen for the whistles. I'm going to tell you that if you try to listen for the whistles on your own using your voice recorders next time you guys are down here, just keep in mind every local knows the story. Well, you guys do now.
Yeah, whistling around.
So anybody that walks up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I used to do it every single morning when I was done with your guys' data. My office is on meeting. My garage used to be above the Scotchman. I don't park over there anymore. But I used to walk by here about 3 or 4 o'clock every single morning and throw a whistle down. Sometimes I got a whistle back. Sometimes I didn't. I didn't always have a voice recorder. But I will tell you that I've been kicked out of here. I would take you all the way through here, but I can't. Basically, where the other tour is right now is where we're as far as we're allowed to go. Let me tell you how I got kicked out of here. Again, teaching your kids all kinds of great stuff. The alley didn't always go all the way through the way we came in. Here's why. There was a wall up there, about halfway between us and the street. This is where
85.
This is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So a bunch of cows and chickens were down here. Kind of silly, right? So that means that the bricks on the other side are older than the ones we're standing on. Those bricks were sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down there. You can actually see it, and it's a whole thing in the brick. And there's a couple of fingerprint swipes in others. And when I first started doing tours, I didn't really know exactly what I was doing yet, and I used to take my groups all the way through. November 26th of 2020, my entire group is huddled around that brick. I treat that brick the same way I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid, all right? So he's not staring at that brick in the afterlife. He's probably with his mom somewhere, is my guess. So that entire group is huddled around. I'm trying to shoo them along simply because it's also outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. Yeah, I'm trying to be respectful, and I didn't realize I was out of bounds. The new owner of the mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great. She was probably about your age at the time, because Dad's getting yelled at. So she just thought it was hysterical. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked for Walmart for a good many years in upper management, and you guys like to fight over towels. Yeah. I don't do Thanksgiving. I own my own business now. So the next day I called my partner that I had, and I told him what happened, and he laughed at me just like my daughter did. He's like, we're only allowed to go down halfway. That's it. That's the boundary that we're allowed to go to because it's residential on the back half. So he said, you got to reroute your group. So I told my group, I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. We're discussing pirates next in case you didn't pick that up. But before we left, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So I was like, okay, maybe we're going to get something. We go up and around the corner. I told them what little bit I did know about pirates in Charleston at the time. And it really wasn't much because I only had about a quick day of research. That one's interesting. So Big John was a linebacker, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
But it is also unknown as to where he's buried. I have my speculations that he might be buried on the other side of this wall, just because he is a native Charlestonian, and that's the cemetery for native Charlestonians. So again, it's unknown because he does have some fame, so they probably don't want people desecrating his grave. So just when we get football terms in his alley, I'm like,
Yeah.
But I know he's on the defensive side. I'm not a football person, but I do at least know that much. And he wasn't on offense, like quarterback. Anyway, back to when we get around the corner, somebody else heard the number 300. I don't know what that one means. Wrote it down, just like I've been writing all your stuff down because I have no idea what the hell any of it is. I do the research on it. We were there on November 28th of 2020, and Bonnie's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial.
Wow. How cool.
You guys say cool. I was actually pretty ticked off. I have a master's degree in creative writing. especially when I'm doing this, I need facts and data. Problem with pirate stories is they are written, they come from pirate lore. They were written 100 years after when the events actually occurred. So 1720, we probably didn't hear about it until 1840 something. So that was my problem, because now I have to read a whole crap ton of books on pirates to make sure like what we're doing is pretty legitimate. So we're gonna let this group kind of pass through, but the gate, the funny thing is that you brought up the word touchdown, and I've already, quarterback, and I was already talking about football. So this gate, remember I told you the alley didn't go all the way through that way? In the event there was a loser to the duel down this way, this was the shortcut to get to that cemetery. Otherwise, you gotta drag the dead guy all the way down to the end, and then double back to get up to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. That's St. Philip's on the other side, in case you were wondering. It's probably giving you a point of reference of where you're at. But I like to call this the death gate. Now the wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, well after, but you can see the archways that was part of the original wall. So that's probably why they designed it. Of course, there's all kinds of laws and boundaries and all kinds of things, like which part belongs to the city, which part belongs to St. Philip's. So that's probably why the wrought iron was probably put there. And I can't remember the guy that actually made most of our wrought iron around here. I don't follow up with that kind of architectural pieces, but this looks like one of his pieces. This is pretty cool. But we had, I think he just recently passed away, if I'm not mistaken. So he was pretty old. But he did most of the wrought iron work that you see around Charleston and people's gates and that kind of thing. But what else have you heard? What were some of the things that you heard?
Lots of heartbreak songs. A lot of commercials on like.
Point your camera down there while there's nobody there. Hold your camera up. There you go.
Thank
Get some good footage of that.
Lots of like commercials on like. Morgan Wallen and stuff.
What was that name again?
Morgan Wallen, like Morgan Wallen songs.
Okay, I don't listen to country music,
Yeah.
so that's
Nor do
fine.
I, but I know that name.
I know. But the name Morgan definitely sticks out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not getting
800.
anything.
Well, we just want to get the footage. We just want to see the video later on. 800. You had something else that you heard that I was like, I'm going to write that one down. February. Thank you. See, that's why you keep you around. February. That one's weird down here. I don't know what that is. We do get the doctor's birthday here all the time, but it's definitely not February. Super weird. What's the last couple of words that we have?
We had situation, and then we had.
At the very top.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
The name Taylor Swift or Taylor Swift singing?
Taylor Swift singing. She was singing
Right.
I'm drunk in the back of the car, which probably doesn't mean anything.
You said who or just?
No, I'm just showing off that we have some type of gun down
gotcha.
here.
Okay.
So it's
With the dueling thing.
right. So I mean, they wouldn't have been using rifles. Flintlocks in the 1700s would have been the gun of choice.
Mhm.
You know, the dueling pistols, and that was usually some type of. What was it?
843-920, like a phone number.
Well, 843 is that throwaway because you know is our area code.
Yeah.
But 920, that could be September 20th. That's an interesting piece. See, that's why I said you gotta tell me all that weird stuff. 920. The 843, I don't need that. That one's too easy. All right, think we got enough footage down here? Let's go learn about some crazy pirates.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go up and around the corner.
I can stop recording.
Yeah, you can hit the. And we're just gonna stay away from that crew or that that weirdo guy over there who's gonna act things out.
What are the lines as it goes up?
All the aesthetics. So it growls and does all kinds of other things too. So the only reason I use that app specifically is because of the size of the word list. It's the biggest one I found.
Okay.
Not to mention, I can save them all and put them in your guys' report. Like that's the whole beauty of it. That guy last night, he uses something. The color of her hair is red. Now she got something. Finally.
That's cool.
He was telling me about this app that he uses. I tested it out today, and I'm like, yeah, this is just spooky terms like all the others.
Yeah.
So,
Just to become gimmicky.
yep. And you have to pay for it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a paid version of that one to get a bigger dictionary. But his was $4.99 off the top, and I'm like, I'm not dropping $5 on an app that is just like all the others. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it. I'm like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah,
I test out a lot of things.
I believe it.
Kind of have to.
Yeah, to find the best stuff. At least it's not the worst for you, for sure.
What?
Is it just this half here, or is
Hold
it?
up again.
I mean, we're gonna stay within the lot,
Here's just
but
the
I
car
mean, you
there.
should go up and
Looks
test
like
like
it.
what I'm telling you
Looks
about
like
the
it.
Someone's
front.
sitting.
It looks like somebody's sitting
Where's
there.
somebody sitting at?
Like whenever I pointed at the
Like on the car?
once I put it at
We've seen
the
people
car.
on trunks before, and I can't figure them out. It's like ghosts are just kind of chilling there,
Yeah, like ghost just chilling in the car.
ready to take some pictures for Instagram. What'd you get?
The 4.
The fourth.
Yeah.
Remember, Anne, well, she had 4 children from her last marriage, a total of 5 children. She had that one in Cuba that we don't know what happened to.
I think
Yeah, 6.3 right here. What's that big?
I saw somebody like in
Did you?
the car and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it looked like a person.
I'll take a 6.3 at this location.
Yeah, and it was the same kind of like just drop right away.
Nice. Nothing there.
After posted dirt.
I heard John.
John?
Yeah.
Remember, that was Jack's real name, John Rackham.
Oh, yeah.
You see why I give the teenagers those now? They
Yeah.
don't remember the story, so they don't know why what they heard is relevant.
Yep.
I'm
Getting
pointing
gooder.
it. I'm pointing this at other cars, but I still don't see like a human figure.
She thought she saw somebody like almost like on the trunk of that little hatchback.
Oh really?
I did see it.
So gotta analyze it so we know. Again, you guys are gonna have some weird footage.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I tell you, one of the best things I ever caught with a thermal imaging camera came from somebody her age.
Really? Just bouncing around all over the place.
It was literally a cold person walking towards us, and I was able to validate from another camera angle that there was nobody there.
That's so
Like,
crazy.
and it was
The
all
number
blue,
8.
so it was definitely
The
all
number
blue.
8.
Like, the face was colder than the clothing of that person. Couldn't make out the details, but definitely walking towards us.
And then save
And it was
me.
like the best stuff I've ever
8 save me.
8 and save me is what I
seen. I
heard.
find stuff like that.
She heard
something
8
new
and
every day.
save me.
8 and save me. 8 is the date of, it's a stretch because we need more, but that would be Anne Bonny's birthday of March 8th.
Oh. Scrub, that might be just pointing at it again.
That's the whole building.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
don't think a ghost would be that tall.
Tall.
That kind
Thank you. Most people go straight to that. And they're like, look how tall that ghost is. I'm like, ghosts aren't that tall.
that would be kind of weird.
That would be weird.
Sorry, maybe having more texts as well. at the same
I get it, dude.
It kind of looked like that somebody was like hanging on it, like a monkey.
Where? On the tree?
Whenever I pointed it on the tree.
Well, just like I told your dad, anything with branches, it's going to pick up all the branches and try to make it look like a person or a monkey hanging from a tree.
Oh.
You found monkeys?
She found monkeys in the tree. Is that her natural wave of her hair, by the way? I'm looking at yours and I'm like, it's gotta be.
Yeah. That's where they both get the poof.
I heard Rose.
Rose?
Oh, that's relevant too. We get that here all the time. You wanna know why Rose is relevant? So, it told you we were gonna get stuff from the doctor too. The house where he lived, 59 Church Street, that I mentioned probably 4 times, I didn't tell you what we call it now. It's called the Thomas Rose House. Now she's picking up on it.
Yeah,
That's why I
that's
said, with all of the EMF you had over there, she missed a lot over there. I can
Yeah.
guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
Like, now that she's knowing what to do and like all the weird stuff, she's like, oh, that's what it is.
And a few minutes ago, I heard whistling.
Did you really?
Yeah, I heard whistling a few minutes ago.
From the
Yeah.
alley.
They know the story.
Yeah. Or they just heard it from a door because they
Yeah.
all do
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They all do it. There was whistling like when I was like wrapping things up over there from the tour that was leaving,
Mhm.
like trying to throw one down for us.
Yeah.
They all do it. What's funny is on that spirit box, I get it all the time. I can't even tell you how many times. I'll get a whistling part of a song and then the word doctor immediately from like a commercial because it's scanning all the stations.
Right.
So like, doctor comes through all the time.
Oh, crazy. What'd you get?
Stop talking about Goose Creek. Please. Like, we get it.
It's a commercial. It's playing all the time.
Yeah.
I'm excited about your 6.3 though.
Yeah, that was here.
Yeah, that's nutty.
And it went to the 3.4, which
I'll take a 3.4.
yeah, okay.
I mean, again,
That just happened like a minute ago when she was
again,
talking.
anything above 2.5 in here, I'm excited about. It's just I know the Pinckney Mansion can get to those numbers. That's
Yeah.
why like just don't give me all the little ones. Just keep it going up.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that I was recording.
What's that?
I forgot that I was recording.
Oh yeah, we'll have fun watching all that. Trying to figure.
Yeah. It's the ground. Your shoes have a ghost.
Hold it up. Look over there. See. What's that? Oh, that's the tree, right?
What was that?
What I try to do with the people that are using that is try to keep a person in view.
Uh-huh.
So that way, go ahead and point it at me. So look how far away I am. This way you have a height reference of how tall a ghost is going to be and how one is going to move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I used
That's
to
cool.
float.
Float?
Okay, Macy.
I used to float.
Okay, Macy.
It used to what?
I used to float. That's what it said.
You gonna put me on there?
Okay. I have you on. I see a ghost.
Any other crazy words on there that we need to know about?
I don't think so. Not that
Sire, anything. Oh, my name.
Oh.
So my name showed up here last night too. That's usually in one of 3 nicks.
Okay.
So first, me. It's not like these ghosts don't know I'm here every night.
Right.
Secondly, the judge for Anne Bonny's trial was Nicholas Laws. So that could be the reference. I need a secondary clue. Or the Nicholas Trot House is literally on the other side of the powder magazine.
Okay.
Like it's practically touching it. So I wait. I mean, judge isn't going to do it for me because they were both obviously chief justices. But I would need something like if the word Laws shows up somewhere, or if somebody's talking about, or if I hear clip clopping from a horse like trotting, then I'll take that as Nicholas Trot.
Oh, okay.
So again, I need a secondary clue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's not surprising that my name showed up there.
What's
I
that?
get
What time is it right
Why?
You got somewhere to be.
Where are you gonna go?
now? No.
10:20.
Oh, okay.
So we have one more spot after this. I'm kind of giving Macy one more minute.
She's in definitely.
She is. Wait to see what I'm going to do to her at the next location. We changed it up just a little.
Yeah.
Actually, they're both going to be kind of involved if you're okay with it.
Oh yeah.
So normally, the new space is like in between this and the space we're going to.
What was that, man?
Hold it back up there.
Back up there. What's that?
Well, the ivy wall is usually not our friend,
Okay.
but she is looking at like a more barren part of it.
It's probably just the ivy.
Oh, we have the footage.
Yeah. So he'll look at it
Yeah, for sure.
once he gets it back.
But the next space, like we do an EVP session. I have this new crazy voice recorder where you can hear like a frog fart from 3 miles away, but it is intense.
Yeah.
So when on a busy Friday, Saturday night on meeting in Broad Street, all that traffic, so it's like I need to cut that out. So the next stop that we're going to be doing, we're going to do the Estes method. Have you seen that before? I'm going to blindfold Macy, and she's going to crank
It's
up this.
blue. That's what it said. It's blue.
She's going to crank that thing up so where she can't hear me. I'm going to talk to her as if she's the ghost.
Okay.
And then Scarlett is going to be wearing a virtual reality cam, and she's going to see images. And hopefully the images are going to match up to what Macy's telling me. and I'm not going to tell you the history until after we do that.
Okay.
So that way they're not susceptible to know what's going on. So let's go over the answers. We actually have a lot going on here. I'm excited about the 2 readings we got from the EMF. What did you give me? Like at least 4 or 5 things from this space. Like that's actually, you got excited about those, especially the rows. Oh, my name showed up too, by the way, on the word list. So, and that was on the way over here because it was right before.
Yeah,
church.
it was before.
So again, I'm not surprised because I see my name all the time. But with this location, there's 3 Nicks here. I need to know which one it is. So where did you hear February? Was that at the other location?
Yeah, it was.
I think so, right? That was at the last one. We were
Yeah,
just
it
at.
was.
My birthday's in February.
My birthday's in February too.
But did your name show up?
No.
Mine did. I'm gonna look at the numbers you gave me real quick. So I had a friend of mine pass away earlier this year, and she was a psychic. And her birthday was just a few days ago, so she's been coming through more and more.
Oh, wow.
So it almost might be like a, hey Nick, I'm watching. So if she's giving me clues about me, that's where I kind of, and it's not anything I'll count in your guys' data, but it will be like a holy crap moment for me. Like, okay, thanks Sandy, I appreciate you coming through, kind of thing. No, don't see any other numbers besides February and my own name. So I think you dropped one, but now it's wet.
No, it's too late now.
Yep.
I don't need to do them anyway, really.
Well, I vape heavily and I smoke a pipe, like a tobacco pipe.
Yeah, I smoke cigars.
So, but yeah,
I can hit stop recording.
yeah, you can hit that stop.